So go ahead and make yourself into a comfortable seat or have a comfortable seated position in a chair. I'm going to move back and sit at the edge of the mat here. And we'll get started with a little bit of centering practice. All right, so finding that comfortable seat, allow your eyes to close. And as your eyes close, right, we're going to be immersed within the experience of the body, and some of our other senses will be heightened, right? The sense of sound, maybe smell, if we had something to eat recently, taste, and of course the physical body, very apparent on how the body feels. So take a moment here with the eyes closed just to check in with the physical self. Right, we have our physical body, and in the yoga philosophy, there's subtle anatomy. Right, we would say there's a subtle body to the being, and the physical body is what's called the Annamayakosha. It's the first kosha or covering of our being. So we're exploring that Annamayakosha by feeling the different senses. And Annamayakosha refers to food, right? We have to take from the world and consume it, right, to sustain the body. The world has to consume itself to maintain. So notice any sounds in your environment, notice any smells or tastes or textures. Even with the eyes closed, there still is some sort of maybe sensation within the eyes, little shadows or colors that might be coming through the eyelid. And then of course with the physical body, we can feel maybe different temperatures across the skin. If we have clothes or something covering a skin, we have warmth there, and exposed skin might be cooler. So just make your way through and just get settled with the physical body. And as you notice the physical body, there's going to be some movement within our bodies, right? Even though that we're seated still, relatively, might be some fidgeting here and there, but within the stillness of our seat, we notice that there's movement, the movement of the breath. So take your attention and start to bring it into the natural movement of the breath. You're going to feel maybe the breath on the nose or maybe on the mouth. You might feel the breath in the shoulders or in the rib cage or abdomen. But there's some expression of the breath. And that physical expression that we are experiencing is a subtle energy that's within our body. Right? We don't have to tell the body to breathe. It's going to breathe for us. And then, of course, we can control the body as well by choosing to control the breath. But that involuntary movement of energy is what's called the Pranamayakosha. The prana, life force energy, right? Where it's visibly expressed in the breath. So start to control your breath now. Now that we've attuned ourselves to that natural inhale and exhale, make the choice. Use your mind or the Manomayakosha, the mental sheath, to subtly direct the energies of the body, the prana, so that the Annamayakosha, the body, actually responds to that. So you're using your mind to control the energy of the breath, and then you'll feel that move in your body, right? So you're going to choose a bigger inhale, letting the belly maybe push out as you breathe in, letting the rib cage expand, the chest rise. You might even feel yourself sitting a little taller with that inhale. And then as you choose to exhale, right, another version of how that energy moves in the body, it moves outwards. So we're bringing it in and bringing it out. And this intellectual understanding that we have here is called the Vijnanamayakosha. Even subtler level of our bodies, right? That intellectual side of things. All right, so choosing to move with your breath, we're going to open up the neck and the shoulders while we are seated. So take a big inhale whenever you come to that, sit up a little bit taller, and as you exhale, bring your chin down to your chest. Good, let the shoulders stay down. We're going to open up our neck here by just rocking the head side to side like we've done before. So use an inhale to bring the left ear over to the left shoulder. And then as you exhale, let the chin come right back down. And then we'll go to the other side. So inhale, bring that right ear over to the right shoulder. And you'll exhale right back down. All right, so go at your pace. We're all going to breathe at a different pace. So I want you to, feel unrestricted in that way. Don't, follow my instructions very starkly, right? I'm just a guide. So inhale and exhale at your pace, rocking the head ear to shoulder, opening up our neck. Good. Take one more breath in, and as you exhale, we'll return the chin back to the center of the chest, and now we'll work a little bit into our shoulders. So taking your hands to the floor next to your seat. I know you can't see me, but my fingertips are just touching the floor, and all we're going to do is inhale, bring our arms up, and as we exhale, bring those arms down. All right, so just a very light way to warm up our shoulders, and if you want to lift your gaze too, lift your chin as you reach those arms up, you can, to add a little bit of flexion and extension within the neck, right? The cervical spine. Good, slow breath in, reaching up. Slow breath out, reaching down. Good, take one more big breath in. And one more big breath out. All right, gently make your way into a tabletop position now. So we're going to be on our hands and knees. We'll scoot back so that you can see me fully on the yoga mat. But again, we're going to be on hands and knees here. Once you've made your way into the tabletop, hands and knees, let's move through that very classic spine warm-up and exercise, our cat-cow. So following, again, your breath, we're inhaling, rolling the shoulders back, dropping the belly, trying to lift the tailbone and our gaze. And as we exhale, pushing that floor away, rounding the spine. Bring the chin in, tuck that tailbone. Good, nice and slow, big inhale. And exhale. Good, big inhale. And big exhale. Good, so we're going to feel, right, our body moving. That's the Annamayakosha. Right, we are moving the body by directing energy, and the energy body is called the Pranamayakosha. Right, the mind, directing the mind, the Manomayakosha. And that intellectual understanding, like I said, of what we're doing is called the Vijnanamayakosha. And so eventually we want to move beyond intellectual understanding into the bliss of our own being, what we call the Anandamayakosha, or bliss sheath, bliss body. So as we go through our movements, try to find peace and happiness, right? All right, so I know we've been doing this for just a moment. Let's add another layer. Take your left arm, reach it forward, and extend your right leg back behind you so that you look like a bird dog. All right, there's a bird in the bush. You're reaching towards it. Keep your gaze down and really push back through that right heel. So our fingers should be spread really wide. We're reaching forward. The thumb is facing up. And our back heel, we are really pushing and extending so that the toes are down, but the leg is nice and firm. So the more that you push through your fingers forward and the more you push back through your heel, the more of the engagement we're going to have in our core. Now let's add cat-cow with this. So as you inhale, lift your thumb and heel higher. Exhale, bring elbow to knee to touch under your body. Good. So incorporating cat-cow into our bird dog. Again, go slow with your breath. Right? The whole point of a yoga practice in the fullest sense of practice is that you are practicing coming to a deeper understanding of yourself. And so we want to start on that physical level. How much control do I have over this physical thing that I found myself in, this body? What are the rules of being in the body, being in the world? Good. Finish up here one last time. Exhale, elbow to knee, and then we'll come into our tabletop. And we're going to rest in between sides in child's pose. So bring your big toes together. Let the hips sit back at the heels and reach the arms forward and relax. All right, so if you want to work into a little stretch in our child's pose for the triceps and the latissimus dorsi, I mentioned this in our other class, we can place the palms together and bring the heels of the hands behind the head, pushing those for our traps, not traps, but our elbows down, activating the lats a little bit. If you have blocks at home, you can put your elbows up onto blocks as well. Good. Slowly make your way back into all fours into our tabletop, and we will switch sides with our bird dog. So now we're going to reach that right arm forward and send our left leg backwards. So you're pushing back through your heel and reaching forward through the fingers. Now again, we want to really extend through the arm and the leg so that we are engaging that transverse abdominis. It's a very deep layer to our core, the transverse. You could think of it as a basket. It's holding everything in. Good. So keep pushing, keep reaching. Feel that core nice and active, and then we're going to include that cat-cow here. So as you inhale, reach the arm up higher, lift the heel a little higher if we can. Exhale, bring elbow to knee, and squeeze. So inhale, reach. Exhale to touch. Slow breath in, and slow breath out. Good. All right, so as we're going through this, right, I mentioned these layers of our being. They're called koshas. And so the mind one is pretty tricky, right? The body takes care of itself more or less. The energy of our being, just does what it has to do. But the mind is the one that can be a little slippery. So as we're doing our yoga poses, our breathing, you may notice the mind wandering. So use your breath as an anchor. Good. Let's lower back down on our next exhale. Move the knees apart, big toes together, hips to heels for child's pose, taking that break. Good. Just breathe here. Now, if you're ever in child's pose and you want to add some alternatives, right, we have the one where we place the palms behind the head to maybe loosen up our triceps a little bit. But you can also loosen the side of our body, and that would be walking our hands to one side, taking our chest and torso with us. So I'm, for the example, taking my hands over to the left, and I'm just going to fold over my left leg, reaching that right arm a little further. So we're going to get a stretch along that lateral side. This is my right side that I'm getting that stretch. So if you want to join me, we're taking our hands that left side, just stretching through the right side body. And then we'll switch sides. So bring your hands back to center as you inhale, and then we'll go over to our right as we exhale, walking our hands as far as we feel comfortable and settling down to the floor. All right, so you're going to feel that stretch on the opposite side, right? So if your hands are going over to the right, you'll feel a stretch through that left side. Good. One more breath in and out. When you're ready, come back into center. Let's make our way into tabletop. And this will be our transition into a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes once you're on all fours. Begin to straighten the legs as we try to send the heels to the floor. And eventually we're going to get those ears through the arms so that our upper body is in one straight line from the wrists to the shoulders to the hips. And then the lower body's in one straight line from the hips to the knees to the ankles. And as you've made your way into down dog, you might feel that you need to pedal it out, shake the hips side to side. This might be the first time that we're really getting a stretch in our hamstrings today. So you might feel kind of tight in your feet, around the ankles, the calves, back of the knees, maybe even into the lower back. So make it your own, move a little bit if you need to. And we will continue making a little pedaling motion, walking ourselves to the top of the yoga mat. So make yourself forwards. Once you come to the top of the mat, let your feet be about hip-width distance apart so that you can bend the knees, let the belly rest on the thighs, and we can fold forward, grabbing our elbows. So from the side, what that's going to look like here, again, our belly is touching the thighs as much as possible, draped over the legs, and letting our back relax. Now, just like in our down dog, we might feel compelled to move a little bit. We have some tightness in the hamstrings or the hips, the back. So sway side to side. Shrug the shoulders. Maybe take your hands behind your neck and massage the neck, or even into the traps, the trapezius muscles. Those muscles that help you shrug. That could feel nice. And if you had crossed your arms, cross them the opposite way. Good. Take one more big breath in. No matter what you've chosen to do, as you exhale, bring your hands back down to the floor or towards the ankles. We're going to walk our hands up the legs and come up to stand. So let's readjust this so you can see. But we are just going to be standing at the top of our mat in Tadasana. All right, so before we get into doing a couple of sun salutations, we're going to do a little bit of standing stretching. All right, so feet again are hip-width distance apart. As you inhale, take the arms out to the sides and up. Good, take a big breath in, reach up, and as you exhale, come into a forward fold that feels good for you. So that could be bringing our hands to our knees or coming into that full forward fold. Good, relax, lean back into your heels, and we're going to slowly roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time, slowly coming in. Good. Once you've reached the top, again, use an inhale to sweep the arms out to the sides and up. And then as you exhale, another forward fold. So come down as you feel comfortable, right, as far as you would like to. Take a breath in and out once you're at the bottom. And then again, slowly roll the spine up. Now, if you prefer, walk the hands up the legs. Again, taking your time. This is our last one. Big breath in. Once you reach the top, arms reaching out to the sides and up, big inhale. And as we exhale, last time, fold forward. Good, take a round of breath here, inhaling and exhaling, and then slowly make your way back up. Again, that could be walking the hands up or rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Good, take a couple of shrugs of the shoulders, and then make a moment to step your feet together. All right, so I'll step back so that we can see the full body here. We're going to inhale the arms out to the sides and up again, but this time we're going to grab one of our wrists. I'm grabbing my left wrist overhead. So inhale, reach up, grab our left wrist, and we're going to exhale, lean gently to our right. So you're using that right hand to just help pull the left arm gently over the ear. All right, we'll do each side a couple of times. So as you inhale, slowly come back on up. Switch, grab your right wrist or the opposite wrist. If you grab the right the first time, it'll be your left, and lean to that opposite side. Good. Inhale, come on back up. We're going to, again, go to each side a couple more times. So grab the opposite wrist, lean, exhale. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale. I'm going to my left. This is the second time. Now we'll do one more to the right and one more to the left. So exhale, going to my right. Inhale back up. And now I will go over to the left. Good, you got it. Good. Inhale, slowly come back on up. Slowly bring your arms behind you. See, I've stepped my feet hip-width distance apart, so you do that too. And then we're going to take our hands behind the back now and interlace our fingers. So once you've interlaced your fingers, take a big inhale, try to straighten the arms and open the chest. That's going to look kind of like this. And then as you exhale, push the hips back and fold forward, reaching your arms as far overhead as possible. So let those knees be bent, let your belly touch the thighs, and this will really help to open up the fronts of our shoulders, maybe even relieve some compression that we might experience in our backs. Good. Try to get the palms together. I know that you might not be able to see this here, but as our arms go up, those palms open. So try to keep them flat if possible. And with an exhale, slowly bring the hands back to your hips. Grab your elbows, shake it out. Good. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, hands to the floor. And just like you did before, either walk the hands up the legs or roll the spine gently up. Good. All right, so we can take our feet, if they're not together, we're going to step to the top of the mat, bring our feet together, and we're going to move through a very light sun salutation. All right, so I'll reposition this so you can see some of the lunges that we're going to do in our sun salutation. Just want to make sure you can see the floor. But standing at the top of your mat, you're in Tadasana. So our mountain pose is either with feet together or apart. This time it's together. All right, so with feet together, inhale and sweep the arms up into the air. Big breath in. Good. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand pose. As you exhale, fold forward into Uttanasana, our forward fold. Good. We're going to come up halfway. So as you inhale, put your hands on your shins or your knees. Flatten your back out parallel to the floor. This is our half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And now make your way into a low lunge with your left foot stepping back. So we're going to exhale, hands to the floor. That left foot steps back and lower to our left knee. All right. From here, we're going to come into low lunge, but listen to your lower back. Don't come all the way up if you feel really tight. You're going to inhale, bring those arms up, trying to tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Good. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Big inhale and big exhale. If you ever want to make a low lunge a little bit more challenging, tuck that back foot, straighten the leg, and make it a high lunge. Good. Last inhale, and as you exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Take your right foot, step it back for downward facing dog. Good. And breathe. You're going to notice the left hip is a little bit more open than the right. Awesome. Take an inhale, come forward into plank, and as you exhale, lower to your knees, and then take your left foot, step it forward. We're skipping the vinyasa, the connection between 2 sides with that yoga push-up. So once we're here, we're going to inhale those arms up, make it to low lunge. Again, try to tuck your tailbone a little bit so that you have a neutral spine. Firmly push that leading foot into the floor. Make sure that you're firm in your legs. And if you, again, want to make it challenging, straighten that back leg, lift the knee off the mat, and we are in our high lunge. Good. Last breath in. As you exhale, bring the hands to the floor. Step to the top of the mat. Find forward fold. Come up halfway as you inhale. Exhale again to a forward fold, and then either walk the hands up the legs or roll your spine up. Come into our Tadasana. Okay, let's repeat that. Inhale the arms out to the sides and up. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Good. Come up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. This time your right foot goes back. We're going to do opposite side. So hands plant. Take the right foot to the back of the mat. Lower to your right knee. And inhale into low lunge. Good. So if you do, again, you want to make it more challenging, tuck the toes, straighten the leg. Let's lift into high lunge for a couple breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Good. In. And out. Last breath in. Let's make our way to downward facing dog. So step on back. Take a couple of breaths here. Just notice now that right hip feels a little more open. And we'll switch sides. So your choice, you can come into plank and lower to your left knee. We'll take the right foot forwards now. You can stay in low lunge if you prefer. You can bring the arms up. You can always have your hands on your knee for support or hands right into the Anjali Mudra. Or if you again want to make it more challenging, come into your high lunge. Whichever you've chosen, breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Good. One more inhale. Make your way into forward fold. So as you exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step to the top and relax. Good. Come up halfway. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale into your full forward fold. And then as you wish, slowly make the hands, walk them up the legs, roll the spine up, whatever you prefer. Arms reach up. Awesome. Now take your hands to the sides. Just come into a mountain pose and close your eyes. All right, so the body will feel a little bit warmer. Right, the sun salutation really heating us up. A modified sun salutation today, kind of skipping those yoga push-ups to avoid, some elbow and wrist stuff going on today. All right, we're going to do a similar sequence, but we're going to twist in our lunge now. We're going to call that a revolved low lunge or high lunge. So when you're ready, as you exhale, bring your arms alongside the body into our Tadasana mountain pose. With an inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Make your way to the ground. Good. Come up halfway like we've done before. And our left foot is going to go back. So left foot steps back and lower to your left knee. I'm going to give you 3 options for your twist. Option 1 is keeping your left hand down and just twisting to the right as you inhale, reaching the right arm up. All right, so from the front, that's going to look like this. Just very nice, basic low lunge with a twist. Now, if you want to come into a different twist, we're going to stay in that position with our legs, arms come up. You can place your palms together as you twist, and our left elbow now is on the right knee instead of the left hand on the floor. Okay, and then option number 3, if you would like to, is you can straighten that back left leg, coming into more of a high lunge with either our left hand on the floor or, stumbling, we're going to put our left elbow onto the knee. Good, so just like that. So from the front, that high lunge version is going to look either like this or it's going to look like this. So no matter which one you are in, breathe, smile, inhale and exhale, find your bliss. We're going to slowly unwind and come into a version of low lunge. So inhale, drop that back knee. If it's lifted, bring both arms up. And as you exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. So that right foot steps back, hips are high. And notice the difference, right? We'll feel a little bit more open in our left hip. Good, slowly come into plank as you inhale. Exhale, lower to the knees. Let's do the opposite side, right? Left foot will come forwards. Again, your choice. Keep the right hand down and twist like this. Or come into our low lunge with the arms up. Bring the right elbow to the left knee, palms together to twist. Or if you want to make it more challenging today, straighten that back right leg, really pushing through the heel. Good, we want our legs to be strong. The powerhouses of our body, the glutes, the hamstrings, the thighs. All right, good, breathe. No matter which version you have chosen for yourself, smile. Right, it's an awesome thing to be alive. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, right? But we are in a position where we can take yoga digitally from the comfort of our home, so it's truly a blessing. So smile, feel blessed. And as you exhale, let's bring our left hand back to the floor. And we'll make our way into a low lunge. So inhale, bring both arms up, and exhale, step forward for forward fold. Good, relax, come up halfway as you inhale. Exhale into forward fold, and then bend the knees, roll the spine up, walk the hands, whatever you prefer. Make your way into Tadasana. Good. Once you're at the top of the mat, we're going to go through that again, but now we're going to change the lunge. It's going to be what's called a lizard lunge. So same sort of process. Keep your feet together or apart if you prefer in your Tadasana. Arms are alongside the body. As you inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Take a big breath in. Exhale into your forward fold. Good. Come up halfway as you breathe in. All right, let's take our right foot back this time. So we're going to put our hands down. The right foot is going to step back and then lower to your right knee. This is where it changes. This type of a lunge is more of a wider lunge. So we're going to bring our left hand to the inside of our left foot as we scoot our left foot out to the side, right at the edge of the mat. Good. Lift your right knee and send it a little farther back and see how low you can get your hips while maintaining a nice open chest. So from the front, again, we want our foot to be on the outside of our hands, getting nice and low here. Now another version for this lizard lunge is coming down onto your elbows. So if you feel that that's accessible to you, you can walk your hands forward a little bit and lower to your elbows. So the first couple of lunges that we did, we're opening up the front of our hips. I mean, this is too, in a way, but this very low lunge with the hands on the inside of the foot is asking our left inner thigh to open up. All right, so that's what we want to feel there. If you have the inclination where your knee feels like it's falling out to the side, I'm kind of exaggerating that here, but make sure that your toes are active. You're lifting the toes. The toes are pulled back towards the knee. Good job, everybody. Take another big breath in and out. Make your way onto your hands. If you're not onto your hands already, we're going to tuck the back toes and step back for downward facing dog. So slowly step your left foot back. Good. Pedal out the feet and notice that difference now between the left and the right hip. We're still going to feel open on the right, but maybe our left inner hip connection to that thigh feels a little looser. Let's switch sides now. So as you inhale, come into plank. Exhale, lower to your knees and step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. I'll face the front this time towards the camera so you can see, right? So the foot's on the outside of the hand. We're going to lift and work that left knee a little farther back so that we can feel lower in our hips. And if it feels comfortable for you to go lower with your upper body, right, we're going to walk our hands forwards and gently lower onto our elbows. All right, and so like I was mentioning, there might be the inclination for your knee to kind of fall out to the side. So if that's the case, remember your toes, they're being pulled back towards the knee. My toes are kind of out of the frame here, but I'm lifting my right toes towards the right knee as I sort of pivot to the outside edge of the right foot, the lateral edge. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Slow breath in. And slow breath out. Good. This will be your last inhale and exhale. So if you're on your elbows, make your way back up onto your hands. And we are going to be stepping forwards into what we call Malasana, the garland pose. So I'll scoot back so you can see what that's like. We're going to lift our back left knee and step that left foot to the outside of our left hand. All right, so if you need to, lift the hips high so you're more like a forward fold. And then we're going to come to squat as low as we can. Palms together, hands are off the floor. If you feel comfortable doing that, we're going to use our elbows to help open the knees. Good. So that lizard pose, kind of preparatory to helping open up the inner thighs here in this low squat. Now, for some of us, I can't see everyone at home, so it might be hard to stay down on flat feet. So if you are off of your heels, that is completely fine as well. But just breathe. Allow those inner thighs to open up. Awesome. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, you can bring the hands back to the floor, lean forwards, help yourself transition into forward fold. So I'm going to pigeon toe the feet together, grab the elbows, and relax. Shake the head left and right, shrug the shoulders. Cross my arms the opposite way, making sure to balance out the way that I choose to, interlace things in my body. I'm interlacing my fingers or my arms, always doing the opposite. Good. Relax the hands down towards the floor. Lean back into your heels. Walk the hands gently up the legs and come on up to stand. Okay? So we're going to be standing in the middle of our mat. We had done a lot of those lunges again to open up our hips. And now we're going to do a balancing pose that's going to open up the sides of our hips, kind of challenge the sides of our hips. And that pose is called Garundasana, or eagle pose. Okay? So the way that eagle pose works is that it's in the family maybe of chair pose or awkward chair. So we are going to be sitting back with our hips. So we're going to practice a couple of chair poses before we come into our Garundasana. So all I want you to do is stand with your feet together and your hands at your hips. All right, so roll the shoulders back, stand up nice and tall, and as you exhale, just push those hips back as you squat, keeping those shoulders right in line with your hips. All right, and so again, our knees are together, big toes are together, and we are sitting back. As you inhale, straighten out and stand. As you exhale, bend the knees, push those hips back. Again, find Garundasana, the awkward chair, the squat. Inhale, slowly come back on up. One more time. As you exhale, push those hips back. And let's hold this pose and actually make it a full awkward chair Utkatasana pose. So take the hands from the hips as you inhale, reach to the ears. Find strength and stability here. Okay? So just to show what the feet look like, right? Our feet are together. The knees are together, and there's a little separation in those heels as the arms are reaching forward. And you'll start to feel that in the sides of your hips if you're really squeezing your knees together. Good. One more big breath in as you exhale, hands to the sides, and straighten the legs. Good. Take a moment to just shake it out. Step off of your mat, move the arms, shrug the shoulders, move your hips. And now we will try Garundasana, which is, again, just like awkward chair, we're going to be bending the knees in the same way, but we're going to cross one leg over the other. All right, so I'm going to reposition just so you can see the lower body, because that's the most important part really as we start, and then I'll transition to the upper body. All right, so just like we were starting before, bring your feet together. Hands on the hips for support. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, push those hips back just like we were doing in our awkward chair. All right, now shift the weight of your body into your left foot so that your right foot feels light. Good, you can lift the heel, right? You feel okay there. As you inhale, let's bring our right knee up and cross it over the left using your toes as support. Now, if you have a yoga block, you can put the foot onto a yoga block, kind of emulating that there. Good, so stay right here. It's a right knee over left, and then when you have those knees hooked, you want to be squeezing them into each other. Now for our upper body. So I'll reposition the camera here. Right, legs are crossed, hands are at the hips. As you inhale, take your arms out to the sides. When you exhale, right arm under the left. Wrapping at the elbows, grab your shoulders. So you can see here, my right thigh is up, my right arm is under. We want those to match. If you can continue crossing or wrapping the arms, let's bring the wrists together. Lift the elbows. And this is what it will look like from the side, Garundasana. Good. One more big inhale. As you exhale, relax the arms. Inhale, stand up. Straighten your left leg. Reach your right knee into the air. Exhale, like an eagle, land, and shake it out. Awesome. Good job, everybody. So we're going to try the other side, and I'll let you see the whole body since we know what the feet are doing, so we can see the upper body, right? So hands on the hips, bring your feet together, take a big inhale. As you exhale, push the hips back, find your awkward chair position with the squat. Let's do the left leg. So body weight into your right foot. As you inhale, lift our left knee, cross it over the right. Toes are like a kickstand resting into the floor. That's giving me stability. Inhale, arms reach out to the sides. As we exhale, cross left under right, wrapping as much as we can. If you need to grab the shoulders, that's fine too. Right? Bring the elbows up, sit low. So from the side, remember, if left is on top, left leg, left arm is underneath. Good, breathe. Inhale. Exhale, keep your gaze forwards. Inhale. Exhale, do one more round of breath. When you exhale, release the arms. Inhale, lift. Take our left leg up and exhale. Bring it to the floor. Good, shake it out. Awesome job. Probably feeling really alive in your hips and your legs now. So let's go ahead and calm it down and do some cooling stuff on the mat. All right, so make your way forward into your Tadasana. So you're going to be standing at the front of the mat. And again, I'll just shift the camera so we can see what we're doing seated. All right, so we're going to make our way to a seating position in a nice, elegant way. So we're at the top of our mat with our feet together. As you inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and up, just like we've done before. As you exhale, find forward fold. Bring the hands down. Good. Slowly inhale and come up halfway. As you exhale, bend the knees, lift off of your heels, and try to maybe sit right behind the heels. So kind of perch there. Good. As you inhale, bring the arms forwards and gently lowering to our seat. Take the legs right out in front of you. Good. Move the hips out of the way. Bounce the legs up and down. Right, and so what we're going to do is make some circles to begin with our ankles, kind of loosening up joint by joint here. So sitting up nice and tall, what's called the staff pose, Dandasana, circles with the ankles. All right, and then make circles the opposite direction. You might hear some snap, crackles, and pops in there, it's okay. And then after we made circles with our ankles, we're going to take our hands, make little cups with the fingers, and encase our kneecaps. Little gentle circles with the kneecaps. All right, after we've loosened up the ankles and the kneecaps, we're going to reach down and grab our right shin just above the ankle. We're going to shake the foot and kind of loosen up the ankle joint a little bit more. So slowly bend the right knee, reach down, grab that right ankle, and we're going to just shake it out a little bit. Try to get that ankle as loose as possible. Let it really flop around. And then take this right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, sit up nice and tall so that you feel comfortable, and we're going to use our hands to just press that right knee up and down. All right, so from the front, if you can't see me, I know I'm facing opposite of you. So we're just, again, pressing that knee up and down, letting that right hip open up. Okay, and then another step further, if you wanted to continue to open up our hip here, we're going to take our hands, looking at our palms, take the hands through this little space here with our right shin. We're going to try to lift that shin to our chest. So again, we're looking at our hands and we're rocking this right hip forward and backwards. If that doesn't feel okay, you can also try using your right elbow to hook the knee and then using your left hand on the foot to lift. And again, we're just rocking into that hip. If you feel comfortable here, you can also try like a bow and arrow. You're grabbing the right foot with the right hand, and we're just pulling back and forth, getting into that right hip. All right, we're going to switch sides now. So lower your right foot to the floor. Again, we're taking our hands, we're going to reach down, bend our left knee, grab right above the ankle so our foot can be floppy, and we're going to shake that left foot out. Good. So nice and vigorous shake. You want the joint to be as loose as possible. And then after a couple of shakes, we feel good. We're going to cross that left ankle over the right thigh. So sitting up nice and tall, use your hands, just bounce that left knee up and down. Nice and loose. Get that hip open. So a lot of these poses today, again, addressing maybe some tightness within that whole hip joint itself. The front, the back, the sides. All right, so after we've bounced up and down, again, we can take our hands right underneath the shin, lift up. If that doesn't feel comfortable, use your elbow around the knee, grab the foot, and just trying to rock that hip open here like a baby perhaps, cradling a baby. And of course, if you've gotten to a place where you feel really comfortable, you can try that other version I was showing you. We're just pulling the leg back, kind of like a bow and arrow. But you want to make sure that you can sit upright to do this. We're not slouching the spine, right? Doing a number on our back. We want this mainly to be that hip. All right, good. So now that our hips are warmed up and a little bit looser, we're going to come into Baddha Konasana, the bound angle pose. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees be open. If you wanted to settle into the pose a little bit, that could be rocking side to side or bouncing our knees up and down. I'm going to invite you to interlace your fingers and grab the outer edges of the toes and the feet here. And just sit up nice and tall before you fold forward. So big breath in, and then as you exhale, leaning forward, keeping that back flat. Use the elbows to maybe depress the knees away from the shoulders more. All right, and don't be afraid to use the muscles that would actually have this happen for you, right? There are some deep glute muscles, so activate those deep glute muscles to help your elbows push the knees open wider. Good, and breathe, inhale. And exhale, good. A couple more breaths in. And out, perfect. One more inhale. And exhale, good. As you inhale, let's slowly sit back on up. We're going to use the hands on the outsides of the knees, gently close the legs. Keep those heels in. We're going to wrap the arms around the shins as close as we can. Take a big breath in. And as we exhale, squeeze the legs nice and tight. Good. We're going to twist our bodies, doing a seated twist. We're going to take our left foot forwards, and we're going to lift this right foot and cross it over the left leg. So we're still grounded in our hips. We just have right foot over the left. Now we're going to be twisting to our right, so we want to do something here with this right knee. We're going to use our left arm, the left elbow, to hook the knee. And then just so you can see what's happening on the side here, left arm's hooked the knee. We're placing our right hand to the floor, maybe 6 inches behind that right hip. So we're sitting tall with a big breath in, and then we're going to exhale and gently twist over to our rights here. Okay, so again, no slouching in your spine. Make sure that your inhale is bringing the crown of the head up, lengthening our spine. Your exhale, you're not forcing the twist either. I know that it's very tempting since we are hooking our elbow around the knee here to really use that left arm to torque the body, right? So use it very minimally to maintain the posture, but don't force yourself deep into the twist. Good. One more inhale and exhale. You're going to use a breath in to relax and recenter. The inhale naturally pulls us forward, so let's let that happen for us. And then we'll switch sides. So take your right leg straight, and we'll bend our left knee, cross the left foot over the right, and again, using that right elbow, hook the knee, put your left hand behind you. And again, I'll move to the side so you can see. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, and with an exhale, gentle twist to our left. Good. Slow breath in and out. All right, take another round. You got this. Big inhale. And exhale, last breath in and out. Use your inhale to allow the body to naturally unwind like it wants to. Good, and we'll uncross our legs, lean back, shake out the knees. Okay, and then slowly make your way onto your back. So we're going to lay down now on the floor, and I'll just readjust this so that you can see. Good. And breathe, right? So once you've made your way onto your back, we're going to do just a couple more poses before we come into the final pose, Shavasana. So on our backs, we want to place the soles of the feet onto the floor so that our knees are bent. All right, and then from here, we're just windshield wiping the knees side to side. All right, I want us to loosen up our lower back. So let your legs feel very floppy. Right? You still have control, as you move side to side, but let the legs be loose so that we can allow the lower back to loosen. All right, good. Now, slowly place the soles of the feet together and let your knees open to the sides. This is going to create a little hyperextension of the lower back. If that doesn't feel good, you can do the opposite by putting the knees together and moving your feet apart. And that's actually going to take a little of that curve out of the lower spine. All right, so you choose feet together, knees open, or knees together, feet apart. Just let the back relax, a couple more breaths. Good. If your knees are open, bring your knees together. If your knees are together, just bring the feet a little closer. Good. We're going to take that right knee into our chest and straighten the left leg along the ground. All right, take an inhale, and as you exhale, just hug that right thigh close to your right side body. Good. All right, another breath in and out here. Relax your right leg to the floor, straighten it out, and switch sides. So now bring your left knee in. Nice hug as you exhale. So inhale, exhale, hug. Good. Another round of breathing. And then we will do both legs now. So one more inhale and exhale. When you're ready, bring the right knee up. We're going to wrap the arms around the leg, and as we exhale, hug the legs close. Now, if your hips lift off the ground a little bit, that's okay. I would suggest maybe trying to stay nice and flat. This is going to be a little bit more challenging than kind of going into what the body wants to do, which is lift the hips, but that's fine too. You might find it more comfortable just letting the hips lift. Good. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, relax the feet to the floor. Take the arms gently out to the sides, 45 degrees away from the body. And we're going to slowly rock again the legs side to side as we straighten our legs, coming into our resting pose, Shavasana. All right, so that's going to be laying flat on our backs. Try to roll the shoulder blades together so that you can feel that the chest is nice and open. And we'll do our guided relaxation in the corpse pose. So allow the eyes to close. Move a little bit if you need to help the body feel settled. But with your eyes closed, right, just feel the body. Don't control your breath anymore. Just be aware of your physical body. And just to revisit the 5 coverings, the 5 sheaths in our yoga philosophy, the koshas. Your physical body is that Annamayakosha, right? And if you just explore with me in your mind, right, the body, all of the cells, everything that the body is comprised of is inert, right? There needs to be an enlivening power, right, for all the parts to work together, right? And that energy, that essence that enlivens us, that energy is we call the prana. And so we have an energetic body, the Pranamayakosha. And if you remember, we can see the energetic body in action just by watching our breath. So move your awareness to the presence of your breath. Again, we're not controlling the breath anymore. We're letting the body do it naturally. Right? So with those eyes closed and being observant of your breath, see all the places in your body that are responding to that energy of the breath. Can you feel the breath move a little bit of the fingers and the toes, or the hands and the feet? Right? Can we be aware of that subtle energy body, the Pranamayakosha? And you may have noticed already there's a little voice that's always in some way communicating with us, the mind. And that's the Manomayakosha. Right? So notice beyond the breath that there's this presence with you that is wanting to analyze the world, to relate to the world, and there's that mental dialogue that happens, the Manomayakosha, the mind body. But where does that come from? Your ability to analyze is one step deeper from the mind, what you call the Vijnanamayakosha, the intellectual body. So use the intellectual body to understand, where does the mind come from? Where do these thoughts and this reference to self come from? And as we begin exploring, ultimately we will come to a presence of peace within inside us. Right? Beyond the body, beyond the energy, beyond the mind, beyond our intellect, there is a subtle presence of peace that pervades each moment. It might slip beyond our attention, but it's always there. The bliss body, the Anandamayakosha. So feel that bliss within inside yourself. Now the key here is to be anchored in our bliss while still being embodied in the four other sheaths: the intellect, the mind, the energy body, and the physical body. So as you notice your physical body, notice the bliss of being in a body, to be able to feel the world, to experience the world. Right? Enjoy the texture of temperature on your skin. Enjoy the texture of fabric on your skin. Right? If there's any sounds or smells in your environment, enjoy those textures as they come through. And even though the eyes are closed, enjoy, right, the mind's eye perhaps, or the little flecks of color or shades that come through the eyelids. And then, being aware of your breath, bring bliss into breathing. It's such an essential part of life, breath. So feel joy and peace and happiness as you breathe in. And using your mind, begin to control your breath and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Again, bringing bliss into our bodies, bringing bliss into our breath, the energy body, holding bliss in our minds, and knowing bliss to be ourself. Good. As you slowly awaken your body into bliss, your essence of being, let's slowly bring our knees into our chests and give ourselves a hug here. So maybe not as tightly as we did before we lay down, but just a nice generous hug. Right? Knowing yourself to be bliss and peace, feel that warmth in your being. As you roll over to your right side, you can cradle your head with your hand if you prefer, or hands underneath your head. But again, enjoy that bliss of being, hold that with you, As you push your left hand or one of your hands into the floor, come up to sit. And we will finish the class again with just a awareness on our breath like we've done classes before. So close your eyes, be aware of the breath on your nose or in your mouth. And maybe go through that process one more time. Notice, right, there's a physical body that needs to be enlivened by some force, energy. And within that movement of energy, we have a mind that can relate to the world. Right? Higher understanding, intellectual powers, the intellect, and that understanding, that deep behind everything. Right? We are peace, we are bliss, we are the essence of life itself embodied. Good, so let's finish our class together with a big inhale and exhale like we normally do. So we'll finish with a clearing breath. So take just a normal inhale, let your lungs fill. Go ahead and let the lungs empty, breath out, and then we'll take that inhale. Good. So big breath in, hold your inhale. When you're ready, bow your chin and sigh. Shrug the shoulders up and down as you rock your head side to side. Slowly begin to open your eyes, and we will be done for today. Thank you so very much for coming, everyone. Namaste, friends, and we will see you next time.